More and more we were operating, we realized that local customers were also interested in this concept, and now we feel that we have the right market fit for both local and expats. So my name is Simon, I'm from Switzerland. Working here, but we set up a company called Saucepan, which is a food delivery company, and been here in Shanghai for, let's say, almost 2 years now. Well, basically me and my partner Wolfgang, we came to Shanghai because we had some family members here, and definitely the market is a very interesting market to be part of nowadays. And previously, I was studying in a hospitality school in Switzerland, and also I was working for sometimes for hotels, different 5-star hotel brands. Well, to be honest, I said, we were always involved in the food industry, in the food and beverage industry, and me coming closer to the age 30, I was thinking I need to do something which has more meaning. Well, looking at the market like Shanghai or China, or if you take the big picture, Asia, I think there's still a lot of things that you can do here in terms of food, and especially delivering clean and trusted food to people's home. To be honest, it was more, we didn't have a clear plan, let's say it like this, because we came here with the idea of more opening a restaurant. So we came here in 2014, and then we just realized it was the time where all the rent was getting higher and higher, and it was just committing suicide if we would have opened a restaurant at these back then in the days. So then more and more we were looking about what was existing in the market, and what we saw, how the consumer behavior, how they are ordering food delivery from time to time. We were saying, okay, this could be an interesting concept, to actually bring the food to people's home. And initially we started with a pretty specific business model, which we completely failed. And then we had to pivot back in December last year, and now we are right on track on a food delivery of ready-to-eat business. Well, we specifically targeted expat at the beginning because we were feeling much more comfortable with the expat markets. We were coming from what we both know the consumer behavior of an expat. However, more and more we were working on our concept. More and more we were realizing that the locals were also interested in a healthy food delivery concept. So that's how we realized that our concept would be both, but has a market fit for both expats and locals. So we started targeting the expat markets because we both, the two founders of this company are two expats, and for us it was much more easier to start with consumers that we knew in the past, and it was much more easier for us to target this clientele. However, more and more we were operating, we realized that local customers were also interested in this concept, and now we feel that we have the right market fit for both local and expats. Well, as said, we had low capital to start with. We could not, this is also why we switched the concept initially, not to go into a restaurant idea, because the rent-wise was too expensive. So we were really looking at about how we could save maximum of money. So initially we started from an apartment, and then we said, okay, where can we find a place where we could operate? Then we checked a bit around the market, and we saw, okay, we could here we are in China, we could maybe rent out an apartment and really renovate it, and then operate from there. This is how we decided really to inject money step by step, and first to see if the concept is working, before like investing a higher amount of money. And for instance, with our initial plan, it was more, how do you say, we could say the first 5 months we tested the product, we tested the market, and this is where we saw that the initial, our initial idea, there was no real demand behind it. And this is where it pushed us to pivot the business model in December. And this is where we now are fully operational. I believe first was the rent issue, because running a food and beverage business, you need a good location, and we could not afford this at the beginning. So this is why we initially started off in an apartment. A second thing is definitely manpower. Manning represents a very high cost, and this is where we initially had, and still today have, hands-on in operation and try to avoid just like hiring a lot of people, because we can do it ourselves, and we need to be in operations. The third thing, which represents also a high cost, if you don't have an IT team, is definitely building up the website, building up an app, or building up a WeChat store. This is where we looked into our friends and family network if there was not someone who could like assist us in building a website, which also we found. I think these are the three major expenses that were going on us. And definitely the personal expenses, because we cannot like, how do you say, give us a payroll at this early stage. So making sure that we are outside the outside work, we are living on a very low profile, and making sure that we can survive here without spending all the money from the company. Since day one, we spent 0 RMB in marketing. The only cost that we had in marketing maybe was like for some like fairs that we took part of, but it was very, very little cost. The thing is, we didn't have the budget for this marketing, and we believe more in word of mouth. So we believe that if we have a product which is, how do you say, good enough, people will talk around this product and talk to their friends. And how we also managed to have a very low marketing cost was like doing like partnerships with already existing startups, existing companies who have already a name here, food bloggers, everything that we can do where we are increasing our visibility, our brand image in the city. We don't pay for influencers. Again, as said, it's more we are going to food bloggers. We would maybe pay them in food. Like we are trying to do like this strategy of influencers, where a food blogger who would try our food and then write on a blog post about us. Or for instance, now we recently also started with some brand ambassadors, like people who are working out in the gym or working out as a yoga teacher, that they can influence their class, the people who are joining them in their class. And otherwise was mainly social media was managed by ourselves. You have like WeChat, which is very strong here, posting, accepting friends, trying to get like a big network of friends. Let's say posting on asking people to post on their moments, and so on and so forth. Yeah, it's basically a mix. It's like, on a way, it's food porn in terms of also like attract the customers towards our food, like showing them images of the food that we are doing. Yeah, well, hire the right team is definitely one of very important factor. Then also. Yeah, spend your money wisely on marketing. For instance, we didn't have money, and we achieved a successful milestone without spending any money into marketing. So I think you don't need to get fundings and suddenly like just spend all over in marketing. You need really like to make like, I don't know, smart investment in this kind of field. Another thing would be like, don't spend all your money on like useless equipment, especially like in kitchen. You need a lot of equipment, whereas it's fridges or knives or whatsoever. So better to to choose like a more safe way to spend money, and like really like see what you really need rather than just like buying all kind of equipments. Packaging as well for us was like a big waste of money at the beginning, because we were testing the waters, we were testing our concept, and we were just like buying packaging right and left. And finally we found ourselves with, I don't know, more than 2,000 boxes which we're not using. So definitely these are important things. I think we are trying to change the future of food delivery. We really want that people have access to healthy foods, trusted meals, but healthy meals using trusted ingredients. So we really want to disrupt this market of food delivery and fast foods by giving like products which are very like healthy for your body, but also like very using like clean ingredients, like something that you can really trust. So what we are trying to solve here, and what our mission is really like to disrupt this food delivery market, and we want to give people access to clean food and healthy meals. So this is where we are trying to disrupt all this food delivery and fast food industry. Well, I think we have a pretty smart business concept where it's pretty easy to scale, because you can all like produce centrally and then dispatch in like further delivery units. You don't need to control or build up a kitchen for each of your units. You just need like to build up delivery hubs. And if you go in cities and then just like build up a central kitchen and then being able to dispatch to all these units, you can scale pretty fast in a short period of time. I think China is a huge market. That's what makes it so interesting. It's so big, and there's so many people here, and which makes it like not any concept can be successful here, but it gives you a lot of room, even if it's a highly competitive market. It gives you enough room for you to get your customers and then operate your business here. Well, at the end of the day, we don't have a family, so if we fail now, we will try to do something again, maybe fail again, and we don't have like something that where we have to succeed in the first concept we are launching. I think it's, even if we proven with our old concept, we failed fast, we modified the business model, we switched, we made a pivot, and then we tried again. And this is what we are both strongly believe in. We will keep moving and keep trying until we have the right market fit, and keep failing, that's for sure. I think, we were pretty frustrated at the beginning when we tried this initial concept, because we believed in one concept, but it was not what the market was asking for. So this is where we learned on, actually you need to listen to what the market is demanding rather than listening to yourself and just think, this could be a great concept.